Hello, Twin Flames. This is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today we're going to be doing a special edition reading. This is going to be a check-in for divine masculines, and I will choose the format based on the guidance that I'm feeling. Today I will choose the format of taking a look at the masculines past, present and future, those aspects that are important for the current energies, for the current situation. And of course, at the end, we'll get some messages, what they would like to say to divine feminine. I'm getting strong in this message that there is some sort of blockage still to kind of speak what they want to speak, even if they decide like this, I'm not ready for yet, but this, I think I am, they wouldn't tell us. And we're gonna find out what it is. So we'll get some messages from my oracle cards and special oracle deck with messages from the masculines. And I'm gonna start with the main oracle deck, which is called the Wisdom of the Oracle, one of my classic decks. And I'm gonna pull, actually I'll start with a message for divine feminines watching, to see what is really what is important to know at this time, right? Like what is with regards to your connection with your masculine. And then we'll proceed with the masculine reading with the oracle card and so on and so forth. Let's take a deep breath, everyone. And please remember that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates for you. Could be part of the reading, could be even a single message or idea. For personalized readings, please check out my website for information or the description box below. You can always message me through Facebook, or you can email me, you can call me and find out details if you want. Okay, so for the feminines, we have the twin worlds. So I've been talking about the transformation for a while, and guess what? This is the transformation. We've been talking, well, of course, we mostly talk about the energetics, the energies in this space on a daily basis, right? That's what is more, as much as it could sound weird, it's something that is more measurable, I would say, right? Because that's the part that's divinely orchestrated, and it's something that also gets very quick cycle of feedback, right? Then what do you do with that energy, or how it translates them into your 3D life? That can take a while. That can actually mean that you would be like, how do I put it? We also have free will, right? So we don't necessarily align with that 5D energy, for example, right? So it's really, it's a little bit easier to speak of the energetics, but we don't necessarily translate that always in the readings to what is going on, what is going to be happening in 3D space. But when we speak about this transformation and the energy between the worlds, we actually speak about the 3D reality of divine feminines. So the transformation is complete in 5D realm. And now you are going through this transformation, cascading transformation in your 3D life. What could that mean? That could mean new people that you meet, new habits that you build in, new sources of income, new creative ideas. It can still be letting go of something or someone, right? But this will be very tangible. It's not like, in this case, it's not so much the inner world healing or letting go or whatever. This is a lot more of like how it's naturally happening. So you don't really need to do a lot. This is just natural flow of things. Let's get the card for the masculines now. For masculines, we have message in bottle, number 15. Yeah, so it's interesting. This was number 3 and this is number 15, which is 6. So I love this card so very much from many perspectives. But what, of course, the main meaning of it that the masculine is supposed to get is that the universe is trying to tell you something. And yes, the universe doesn't just spill it out openly, unless this is a tower moment, tower project I'm hearing, right? It's using its signs, its signals, its symbolism but it usually knows the tricky, the magical part is that whoever or whatever entity is delivering that message, they know how to get through to you, right? So they know what language to use. There's a great book by Verber, the French author, which is called, I think, The Empire of Angels. I keep forgetting about it. The Empire of Angels, I think, but something along those lines. And yeah, one of the aspects that I haven't read it for years, but I used to read, like, there was a time when I read it a lot of times, including the original in French. Like, I actually did it as a project in my French, like a paper in college, because that was my minor. So anyways, it's giving you like a lot of this like foundational I mean, obviously it's a fictional book, so you know, it's up to you what you want to take from it. But anyway, it's a fictional story that's giving you like this concept of what happens with us after we die, right? Or the cycles of incarnations, like, and it includes how angels, in that sense, in that context, is actually angels, how they talk to us, right? And it says that there are several languages, and as far as I remember, there are cats, there are signs, there are dreams, you know, and like to each person something would speak more openly, like, or more loudly, right? So they would know. And of course, like within each of those mediums, there will be certain things that different people would be paying attention to, that would be meaningful to them. And your guides, especially your dedicated guide, they usually know how to play your strings, so to speak. Yeah, I keep getting that idea of like playing the strings of a violin or a guitar, right? So like we know what kind of strings we need to push or to pull to create the music that we want. So they're trying to deliver the message in that symbolic language. Okay, let's keep going with the masculine now, and I'm gonna pull 9 cards of what is important for us to know, what was going on in the past. We have 4 of Cups. This is the feminines. We have King of Wands. A lot of ambition. Queen of Wands. Wow, and they wanted to find somebody as ambitious, as demanding from life, I'm hearing. The present, 10 of Swords. Yep, facing the consequences, the karmic consequences. Temperance. Rebalancing. 6 of Cups. Oh my God, look at that. Yes, finding that soul tie, soul connection. And it doesn't necessarily even mean, especially in this card, because in this deck, because a lot of times you see like 2 kids, a boy and a girl, right? Like it's kind of speaks to us. Sometimes we have adults actually that reminisce about being kids, but there's still some sort of love story there, even if it's innocent love between children, right? And here you have one person. So it's more than anything, to me, it speaks so loud that this is a connection of the masculines to the divine, to their divine essence, and to the source that is getting awakened, and as a result of this temperance, of this alchemy, of some sort of magical transformation. The future, Ace of Swords, the Hanged Man, Queen of Cups, love it. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Cups. Yeah, so there is a bit of confusion right now in the world, because there's a lot of information, like, you know, like you have a lot of noise from like the external world. You have your own thoughts that, unless you know how to kind of take a break from that, right? Meditate, pray, kind of turn it off. Of course, it keeps going, right? And the more you get into the inner dialogue and healing and energy cleanse and stuff, the harder, the tougher, the longer the conversations are going to be. And then of course there is the divine, which is the third channel of information, right? And and let's put in that section, we can also include the guides, you know, like entities around that want to, and the divine partner, who are sending energetic messages with all of this information, it's just like kind of too much at a time. You know, like when you're hearing a lot of voices, a lot of people speaking in parallel, and it's hard for you to understand any of them. Like you either have to really choose who you're going to be tuning into, or you give up and like, sorry guys, please one at a time, because it just becomes noise. You can't really hear the message anymore. And you know what, even if you decide to tune into somebody and you will hear the words, I can guarantee you that you will miss the body language, the tone, the subtext of it, because it's hard to hear it with all the rest of the noise. So there is that confusion generally, and kind of trying to hear the message but not really being able to because of all the different voices. So anyways, in the past, divine masculines were looking for an opportunity to be with someone as ambitious as themselves, who would look similarly, who would make a good kind of Instagram partner, you know, like, and I don't mean it in a derogatory sense. I mean, like, they had the best intentions, and that's what they thought they needed. That's why they thought that's what the true connection is, right? For one or another reason. And for some, like here we have several scenarios. For some it will be connection by you know, physical attraction, right? Hence the wands, and being very much like in tune with each other sexually. For others, it's more about what you want to achieve in the world, like who do you want to be, what kind of title to have, you know, where do you want to live, how many kids you want to have, those attributes. And for others, it was also around friendship and being good partners, you know, in that friendly meaning of it, right? Like in building the life together, supporting each other and all that stuff. But even in the last section, the problem was that it was all based on external criteria, including appearance, some traits that the person would portray on social media, and something that some of their friends or family would say. So it was very much coming from external source. Like, I don't really know this person, but you know, if their friends and family are saying that they're wonderful, then who am I to not believe it, right? They know better. I better think that this person is wonderful. Something along those lines, right? So they were looking for opportunities, looking and looking and looking, and sometimes they would feel like they found it. But then look even at this couple, like in the way these cards appeared. They aren't even looking at each other. And that's what they were finding as a result, right? They would like detect a person and think, okay, I think this is what I need based on like that criteria. But then they would realize with time that each of them is ambitious in its own way, in their own way, and they're interested in satisfying that ambition more than anything, their individual ambition. There was not much interest to build this together. Or if it was mostly for the sake of looking good on paper, on Instagram, you know, when we have brunch with the parents or something along those lines. Like they would be, oh, this is, you know, like when people sometimes comment, well, this is such a beautiful couple. And it's like, well, you have no idea what people are like, or like what their relationship is about. You're seeing this as an image, static image, like they look beautiful. And for some reason that's enough. And the more people leave comments like that, the more people who are on the other side, who are receiving the compliments, the more they are believing that this is a good idea, that this is the person, that they're supposed to hold on to it. In the present, we have 10 of Swords, the Temperance, and 6 of Cups. So yeah, there is still some remaining healing, and you see the sunlight actually in this deck. There is a sunlight that's coming through, so there is hope. There is like, yeah, I've come as far as I could go here. Like, I can understand now that looking good on Instagram is not something that's making me happy, because real life happens behind the closed doors, when those people are not around to compliment us, to applaud us on how good we look in public, or how cute our baby is, or our pet is, or you know, how successful we are in our jobs, right? It's something else. Ooh, wow, ouch, right? This is that moment of realization, of enlightenment. And then the temperance is kind of rebalancing these energies and helping divine masculine to realize what is really going on in their soul, to talk to the divine, to have that connection, whichever way they can establish it in, and start recognizing that they deserve more, and what is a healthy relationship about, right? But this starts, of course, with them establishing that relationship with themselves and tightening their bond to the divine, and understanding that their story, their previous history, does not define them. It's finding the beauty of their soul and also their talents, right? It's their passions and intentions that matter the most. That we are all the creators of our own life. And we can start a fresh slate at whatever point in time we decide to. That's the beauty of our free will. As long as this intention is aligned with the divine energy, with the guidance, it's gonna be beautiful, and we're gonna be beyond successful, beyond any success that we've seen before in those pretended circumstances where we look good on paper, but it didn't feel like anything real. The future, we have Ace of Swords, the Hangman, and Queen of Cups. So a lot of, well, I mean, Ace of Swords is actually pretty masculine energy, like, but still, this is about thoughts, this is about seeing the truth. I don't see taking action here in any of these cards, but I see still a lot of retrospection and a lot of self-love seeking, right? Queen of Cups is like one of the most nurturing, loving, and caring figures in the tarot deck, right? She's the one that is like this wise mother figure that's that loves her baby unconditionally, right? And can always support with some loving words, even if they don't sound like that at first. But the message will get through, and they will know that their mom loves them and wants the best for them, right? So it's finding that space where you can be that for yourself, divine masculines watching, right? Where you can be unconditionally loving to yourself, like a wise parent. I usually say that, and I say that to my DM as well, actually. That, you know, it's important to reparent yourself, right? To be the parent that you missed in childhood. And that's like the common theme for the Twin Flames. That at least with one of our parents we missed it. Maybe with both. Where, you know, we are basically becoming the parents for ourselves, both loving and responsible, right? So it's supposed to be like that healthy boundary kind of situation. But the love should be unconditional, like it's supposed to be with parents, right? The Hangman, again, seeing the situation from another perspective, with another pair of eyes, or with other, trying to say, yeah, basically seeing it differently, right? Like realizing what the truth is, realizing positions of other people involved, and understanding that it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn. That's basically our process on this planet. You know, that's like the majority of time we are gathering these lessons through all of these experiences we have, our individual experiences or together with some people. They could be positive, they could be negative, they could be more fulfilling, they could be kind of empty, but it'd be like, okay, whatever, didn't work out. I guess that was your own hypothesis, you know? It's like we're scientists in some way, right? We're this beings from other dimensions, from other galaxies that are here to gain that knowledge, right? And then to transform, to be able to start from like the maybe not the best place, right? But be able to transform into this beautiful butterfly and to share our story with the world. Okay, I'm gonna get to the messages. I didn't read the clarifiers. Let's get some messages of what the masculines would like to say to feminines at this time. I glanced at the card from another deck that said, I'm too afraid to talk. So we're going to find out what divine masculines are too afraid to talk about. Okay, we have, I made the wrong choice. Yep, hence the ambitious partner who look good on paper. This magnetism between us is driving me insane. Yep. And you make me extremely happy. No surprise here, but you know, this deck actually has a lot of different karmic stuff that is coming up all the time for the masculines. So this is, you can consider it's like a super positive, super special message today for the feminines watching. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. Don't forget to like the video, to leave a comment, to share, to subscribe, and I'll be back with more readings very soon. Bye everyone.